Endorphins are neuropeptides from the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. They cross the blood-brain barrier and head into the opioid receptors to block pain and create feelings of euphoria. And if anything I said resonates inside your head, then tune on in to the Endorphin Report.
Welcome to the Endorphin Report. I'm Daniel.
I'm Cynthia.
So we have a new Christmas episode for you today. Cynthia reached out to me yesterday to say, I watched the movie. I'm all ready to go. You can't waste this energy. So you saw something that inspired you, Cynthia.
And I now realize in retrospect, I was on a plane, and planes make me stupider when I'm on them watching a film. I usually sometimes download films that I know dumber Cynthia would like to watch. So now he's like, oh, this whole assessment may be kind of through beer goggles of me being on a plane. The altitude must mess up my brain cells a bit. But yeah, just so you know, disclaimer.
So you might be more positively oriented towards this movie?
I don't know. This may be like an awful film, but I found slightly less awful because I was beer goggles. Like, I have sobbed on films that are not that sad on planes before. Or I have thought a movie was like pretty good, and then I later was like, oh. It's Endorphin Report asterisk at the corner. Yeah.
So you're saying people should adjust a little bit.
People should aware that this was plain Cynthia's assessment, and that we'll just leave it at that. Yeah.
So ideally they should watch it on a plane.
I mean, a lot of these dumb films probably are much better on a plane. You're just isolated. There's nowhere to go. It's all you got, you know.
I feel like I watched 90% of the rom-coms I watched before I met you, I saw on a plane. Even going back to the days when they would just have a screen that would flip down and everybody would have to watch the same movie. It was almost 100% of the time was a Kate Hudson rom-com.
Yep, definitely.
But yeah, this is a movie from 2018.
I think it was on Freeform originally, and now it is currently on Netflix, which is how I watched it.
And it's called No Sleep Til Christmas. That's all I know about it at this point.
That's all you know about it. I just saw a synopsis that says, woman cannot fall asleep without being next to particular guy. And I was like, what? So I was perplexed to watch this.
What's Christmassy about that? I'm intrigued to know.
It happens around Christmas, and we'll get into it. So starting it off, we have the main character whose name is Lizzie, and you can imagine her as looking a bit like a Mandy Moore.
Okay.
And she is an event planner. And she has super issues where she just, like, in the last month, and it's Christmas, it's December, she can't sleep. She is planning her work events, and she's planning her wedding, and she can't sleep. She's trying everything, and by everything, it's like everything not helpful. She's just lying in bed a ton and like jumping around. And has somebody who teaches sleep hygiene to patients. You're like, okay, not the best ways you're doing it.
This does not sound like that fizzy of a concept for a comedy. Like, a lot of people struggle with this. It sounds horrible.
Yes. But she is sleeping next to her very bland, super attractive, very jacked, always supportive surgeon fiancé. So he does not mind being woken up at any time, staying up all night to try to help her, doesn't mind, super helpful.
Yeah, surgeons don't need that much sleep, from what I hear.
Surgeons is like, what? They just phone it in.
Yeah, not as important as, say, event planning.
Yes, she has to be on it, yes. He will sacrifice his sleep so she can be more alert for event planning. Yes, she's got corporate events to plan. Yeah. Come on, people. Yes. So she meets with his mom, who is Cheryl Lee Ralph from Abbott Elementary.
Oh, wow.
Who's delightful, but has to play a slightly overbearing mother-in-law with the wedding planning. Like, the surgeon's only flaw is that he doesn't understand that his mom can be slightly overbearing. That's the only flaw he has. Otherwise, he's fantastic. So, I mean, bland, but I mean, isn't everyone bland in these films? So,
yes.
Yeah. So she's having a rough time with planning and not impressing his mom and just having a rough time with, like, poor sleep. Usually, at baseline, she is a super happy planning person, and she is super attracted to her fiancé. They get along great. They have a respectful relationship. And right now she's just tired, and that's not great. And she's like, I can't do this. I can't do work and get married and just be so tired.
So the movie is her journey into sleep psychosis, into a kind of nightmare underworld of the city that she lives in, and all the bizarre things that happen, right?
Definitely.
Okay.
So we then switch to Billy. Billy is an actor who looks like a bit of a dehydrated Ryan Gosling. So he works in a really crap bar, doesn't have his shit together. He's burning food, doesn't follow through on things, and his girlfriend walks in and she breaks up with him. One of her specific complaints about him is that he cannot fall asleep next to her. She takes that very personally. She takes his insomnia personally that he has had for his whole life. So they break up. He looks like a total mess, but they try to redeem him in showing that he has a goddaughter and a best friend couple who like him. So then he can't sleep, and he decides to go for a run at 3 a.m. She can't sleep, so she decides to put on sunglasses, I think to maybe not keep her too much awake, and go driving with sunglasses. And she accidentally hits him because he accidentally runs in front of her car. She picks him up and drives him to the ER. They start chatting, and then they fall asleep in the car. They sleep so hard that when literally people, like paramedics, see them in the car, they just show her waking up in a gurney, like her going, oh my God, I slept, which means that they must have been shaking her violently to try to wake her, because they wouldn't just be like, oh, we're going to take this sleeping woman and place her in a gurney. They would be like, ma'am, and they would have shaken her, and then they would have tried to alert her, and then she wasn't awake, and then they would have put her in the gurney, and then she woke up. So she definitely had some crazy comatose level.
Okay.
But she wakes up and she's like, oh my God, I fell asleep. This is incredible. And she just leaves the guy and she goes and she's like, I'm amazing. Everything's amazing. She's like, I feel great. She's like, I love my fiancé. She has some sex with her fiancé. She's great at her job. She's planning the wedding. Everything's going fantastic. So.
What is this setup?
Yeah, I know, strange. Right? I was so perplexed by this film the whole time. I was like, what? This is what made me want to watch. I was like, what? And then as I'm watching it going through, I'm like, why is this guy a better guy? Whole time. Why am I supposed to be excited she's going to downgrade her fiance? What? Flash to him. Now that he's slept, he realizes his life isn't so great. It's basically it's kind of made him unstoned, essentially. So now he's like, oh, this bar actually kind of sucks, and I actually don't like my life.
One good night of sleep.
One good night of sleep means he's like, oh, whole new perspective on life. She then still can't sleep after this happens. She then can't fall asleep again. So she's a total disaster that she forgets her phone, her keys. She's late to see her mother-in-law. She literally gets on a bus and is just please just let me on. Typical privilege stuff of please, I need to go to a wedding dress, trying on thing. You need to let me on. This is important. My mother-in-law is there. And the bus driver, who's this older British woman, is just dude. And then she's like, I hate you. And she's like, look, you're acting from a place of fear. I don't think this is the right bus for you. And she tries to close the doors on her. And then the girl grabs violently her shoe. And then that makes everybody freak out, and she gets arrested. Do not get arrested on a bus.
Okay, this would make me more anxious about losing a night of sleep, by the way.
Yeah, no, so what is happening to her is she is having what you would call is when you have problems sleeping, you then spiral, in which you then have the anxiety of sleeping, and then it causes a whole thing onto itself. So usually as a provider, we would say to try things like cognitive behavioral sleep therapy for insomnia, which is kind of like a sleep retraining. But she just drives around at night with sunglasses or just lies in bed for hours and hours. So none of that seems helpful. She says she's tried meds and nothing helps. But anyways, yeah, that was just me being lady. Okay, so then what happens is she, after getting arrested and getting bailed out by her mother-in-law, she's like, I can't do this anymore. And she goes to the bar where Billy is. And she's like, look, the only way I slept was next to you. You have to be the factor. So she, like a super crazy person, says, you please sleep next to me for the next 2 weeks until my wedding. And I will give you a loan for the bar you want or something like that. So he's
this is wild.
What? This is wild. And this is completely unhinged. And so they literally go into the ER parking lot and they take up the space for the ER and they fall asleep together.
Does she try sleeping in a car first?
Yes, she does. Does not work. Yeah. So they sleep next to each other and they just fall asleep. Then after a while, he's like, dude, can we not be in a parking lot? So then she rents a super swanky hotel every night for weeks because she doesn't want to be found in another place where she usually would be. So they sleep in a nice hotel next to each other. And then they don't really talk much. They usually just go like, oh, blah, 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 and then they go to sleep. This isn't some long conversation thing. And then at some point, before they go to have another quickie, where they call them like literally like to sleep together at some point, she helps him at a party where he's Santa. She's an elf, and there's photos of her taken on his lap, which I was like, oh, evidence. This is going to go badly.
Why was she on his lap?
Because his goddaughter wanted her on his lap as the elf and wanted to take pictures.
All right.
Also, while she's at there, she like sees somebody from her fiance's work, and she covers by saying, I don't know these people. I'm just helping out as charity because she points to his couple friends. She's like, they're organizing this so bad they needed me. They're just so trashy at like planning. And so she just like totally dumps on these people to benefit herself. That's pretty much what happens throughout this film is like the two main characters will totally dump on their best friends or people of color who are the majority of the PIM people in it are like supportive people around them of color. And then everyone will just go, it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. I totally like trashed you in front of other people. And they go, no problem. We are just here to support you and help you. And our backstories don't matter.
We have no inner desires.
No inner desires. We are here to help and support you.
Yep.
Anyways, they go to the hotel together. Billy and Lizzie go to the hotel. They can't sleep. They have a talk about he can't sleep because his father abandoned him when he was 13. It's for another woman. That's where his sleeping problems. She overplans because her dad was an unreliable pilot. That's their backstories.
Like airplane pilot?
Yes. He was an unreliable airplane pilot. He was never there for her.
Okay.
So then what happens is Billy starts to wear off on her. She starts to plan a little less. Instead of being super hyper about planning and loving planning, when her fiancé is like, hey, what are we going to like play for our playlist at the wedding? She's like, maybe people just plug in their phones and play something. Who cares? And you just see a little bit of his love for her just drain out of him at that moment. He's like, we're not going to plan? Like, he's just like, what? So then what happens is she, for her bachelorette party, goes to his bar. Billy has opened up a bar with her money. So he's put his life together a bit. They sing karaoke together. They have a moment. She's literally wearing the bachelorette sash.
Feels like this is crossing some lines here.
Oh, so many lines. She is secretly sleeping in a bed with him. She's hanging out with him. She then doesn't seem to think that any of this is a problem. She invites him and his couple friends to the wedding. No problems there. She's like, and they're all so happy about it because these people don't care. They just want to support her. So they're like, oh my God, we just met you twice. We would love to go to your wedding. That sounds like the funnest thing ever.
Why would you invite your sleepy time side piece to your wedding?
I don't know. None of this makes sense. Even plain drunk, I am like, wow, this is kind of bad. And now this sounds so much worse as I'm describing it. This film sounds so much worse. I mean, I didn't think it was good, but this sounds so bad.
It's really funny. Only as you're telling me this do you realize. I'm now picturing that the guy's like the Sleepy Time bear from Sleepy Time Tea. You know, just asleep in the armchair with the nightcap on.
No, he's a dehydrated Ryan Gosling.
All right.
So just take Ryan Gosling's face and suck it in a little bit.
Okay.
But without without the super Ryan Gosling charm, because Ryan Gosling has like a magical charisma. So
yeah, he could hear this.
Oh my God, I am so sorry to this guy. Anyways,
okay.
Yeah. So then what happens is her fiancé sees on their phone, because you know how you can do like the tracking on someone's phone. He sees that she's in a hotel, and he calls her, and she lies and says she's not in a hotel. So then he shows up at the hotel and finds her with the guy, Billy. And he's like, what is going on? And, I mean, would you find this suspicious?
No, there's a perfectly normal explanation for this.
By the way, this is like Christmas Eve that they were taking a nap together on Christmas Eve in a hotel. And they explain, they go, no, this isn't anything sexual. We would never want to get together. We just need to sleep together. That's it. This surgeon guy starts to believe it. And he goes, okay, well then I want proof. I want to watch. And so like,
I want to watch.
She's like, I want to watch. And it's like, oh. And she's like, well, how do you know that you won't think that we're just faking it? So he brings them on Christmas Eve to his medical friend's sleep doctor sleep lab to hook them up to watch them sleep. And his friend is totally fine with just being there on Christmas Eve and watching these people sleep.
For science and for their relationship.
Oh my God.
It's funny that they didn't just have him sit in a chair in the hotel room, what we call the cuck chair, and watch
just
them.
Imagine him sitting there.
With his arms crossed. Okay.
So he watches them fall asleep in separate beds. And then they watch for, I don't know, a few hours. And then finally the surgeon is like, why do you think they can only fall asleep together? And she's like, nah, maybe they don't make each other anxious. Maybe they're like calmer together. And so then that makes Lizzie uncomfortable. And she tells the guy, our sleeping arrangement is off. We're not going to sleep together anymore. And then she goes home and she fake falls asleep. So she's faking it with her fiancé. So when she's in bed with him, she's faking it. She's just pretending to be asleep.
Okay.
So then Billy decides he loves her. He's like, oh my God, I love Lizzie.
This arrangement did not stay clean and well-defined.
It didn't. He's like, I realize I love her. I need to tell her I love her. I'm madly in love with her for the 1 minute of conversation we have before we fall asleep. He's obviously like attributing that he feels so much better because he's been sleeping to that fact that he loves her. So yeah, I think that's where the misattribution of de-arousal, we'd say, falling asleep.
So he would be in love with Ambien if Ambien worked for him.
Yes, he would. Yes. So he's feeling better, and he's like, oh, I feel better now because she's in my life, but it's probably because he's actually just sleeping. So then she goes to his house and does a Goodwill Hunting. She's like, your dad left you, but it's not your fault. It's not your fault that he left. And you're a great guy. And he's like, oh my gosh. And then he feels bad that he can't be with her. So then, continuing to be a mediocre guy, he goes to his bar and gets totally trashed while working. So much so that his coworker, who's his best friend, needs to get support help to bring him home. Then she goes to him and she's like, look, you can still come to the wedding, but we shouldn't sleep together anymore, and we shouldn't be in business where she like lent him alone. So now, of this crappy film, you get to guess what happens next.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, current status. When's she getting married? On Christmas Day?
I think she gets married around New Year's or something. I don't even know. Doesn't matter. She's getting married late December-ish, we'll say.
Okay, so it is currently Christmas Day. She's still due to get married. And he is, yeah, boy, I can't imagine. It seems like they should just stay good friends and have like an arrangement with the husband. Like, I mean, she's never expressed love for him in any way,
They need to have an open sleeping relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Weirder things have happened. But no, I'm trying to think how this...
is true, right?
I'm trying to guess how this movie wants things to go. Okay, she keeps sleeping with her husband, pretending to sleep, and her husband finally calls her out on it and says, this is not okay. It's not going to work. You're not the person that I wanted to marry. You should go to him. And she's like, what? Go to who? Him? But I don't want to be with him. I want to be with you. And he's like, I think deep down, your sleeping brain knows that you want to be with him. And she wanders through the night with her sunglasses on, I guess, driving around. and she hits him again. She hits someone and she's like, oh my God, not again.
Not again. Gotta hide the body. Oh, not again.
Okay. Yeah, it's actually the fourth guy that she hit with the car.
Yeah, that day. She's like, oh, throw it in the back.
It actually turns out to be him again. He was just jogging the streets hoping that she would hit him with her car. And so they're reunited. They have an incredible sleep back in the emergency room parking lot, which is where they first met. And then they realize they need to be together. And there's a cut forward to their wedding where they're both sleeping during the wedding. Somehow.
So they're at their own wedding and they're both asleep?
Yes.
And how do they say yes for the vows? Do they just put like a Post-it on themselves, like "Do not awake, but I do," and then the guy marries them?
Yeah, exactly. They roll them down the aisle on gurneys.
In the gurneys.
And they put their hands together and put the rings on them. And then everybody cheers really loud, and then someone goes, shh, shh. And everybody's like, yay.
It just would look like they're marrying corpses. Like, gosh.
That's the ending. My ending.
Okay, I mean, it's probably better, honestly. All right. So what happens next? Billy decides to clean up his act. He's not going to be as messy. He reaches out to his dad, gets some closure. She invited him and his couple friend to the wedding. They're still going to go, despite all of this. They're going to go, because of course they have to.
You gotta.
He goes to the wedding with his goddaughter and his two friends. And then when the wedding's going to start, he's like, I can't do this. I can't do this. He's like, you guys stay. Because, of course they want to stay. Of course they want to be at this wedding. And he runs out, like runs in a suit. Just goes running down the street. Just sprinting through Chicago.
Okay, I got that part right.
Yeah.
He's running.
So just sprinting in a suit. He's just running away. She sees him running when she's in the car with her dad, who shows up in her wedding dress.
I'm still very right.
You're hitting the points. She goes down the aisle. During the vows, she rests her head against her fiance's forehead for them to say their vows, and she falls asleep in that way. Doesn't fall to the ground. She just falls asleep standing with her head tilted. So he says, I do. And then they ask her, and then she's just asleep. And then she goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she's like, I'm so sorry, I haven't been sleeping well. And he's like, you've been faking it.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. So they hash it out. And then she's like...
They hash it out at the front of the church?
At the front of the church, at the altar. He goes, look, I love you more than anything. But he's like, do you love me? It's okay if you don't. Because, he wants doesn't matter. It's fine. He's a side character.
He's chill.
It's all about her. And she's like, I thought I did, but then I had problems sleeping. And now I don't know. And he's like... It's okay. And she's like, the message is, I'm going to go leave you for some mediocre white guy. So he's like, it's fine. It's totally fine. And as she leaves, she goes to his mother-in-law, apologizes. And as we know, the actress can do a really good delivery. She's just like, I wish I left you in jail. And smiley.
I can picture it.
Yes. She does a very good delivery of it. So Lizzie runs out. The chauffeur who was going to drive them in a British car that said just married, he gets out of the car. She just takes the car because it doesn't matter. She can do whatever she wants.
Uh-huh.
And so she's driving.
Grand Theft Auto rules.
It's been about 25 minutes. This guy is still running down the street. I don't know where he's running. He's running. She sees him run. Where the hell is he? Is he just going for a run in his dress shoes for 30 minutes? I don't know.
How did she find him? Just randomly driving around?
She just sees him in the street. She was going to go to his house. That's what it is. But he's just, I don't know. He's still running.
Okay.
Who knows where? Guess what? She hits him.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, you got to stop doing that. He's literally been hit by a car. And he's 40. So, our bodies do not bounce back well.
Nope.
God, he's going to have problems. He's going to hurt so bad. And broken ribs, who knows? But he's on the ground and she sees him and they just start laughing. And then as music plays, which are actually pretty good songs, I'll give him that. He looks at her and she kind of motions for him to come to her. And he's just got tears in his eyes. And then he goes to her and then they flash to a year forward.
Huh.
It's 1 year later. They're in bed. They're excited to go to sleep. They say they had a good day. They have wedding rings on. And they're cuddling up to sleep. And then you hear a baby cry. And they're like, oh, gotta go get the baby.
Oh, Jesus.
So in 1 year, they got married at some point immediately. And then she would have had to get pregnant a month or 2 months in or 3 months in to this relationship. Immediate preggers.
The one thing that will definitely destroy your sleep.
Yes. So, I mean, I think the relationship is like, yeah. So, you actually need to watch the trailer.
All right.
And you'll get a gist of their vibe.
Okay.
Now you're back. Now you've seen the trailer. You saw that they also had an erection joke where he wakes up next to her with an erection. And they're like, ah! Yeah, I mean, typical quality.
So he's kind of a scruffy guy.
Yep, scruffy guy.
So the next day...
We're going to do the next day after she has left her fiancé.
At the altar.
At the altar. She left him. Oh, it's so messy. You're like, at least her bland fiancé won't, everything will go, oh, it's fine. I just want you to be happy. What I want doesn't matter.
She lives with her fiancé, so she has to move out.
Yeah, no, it's just messy. It's just messy. Oh.
But she'll be sleeping well.
She'll be sleeping well because she'll immediately need to go to this guy's place. They can't even take it slow because she has to sleep next to him. So she's like, well, I might as well move in.
Let's see how this goes.
You can't be like, let's casually date. Yeah, like you actually need to move in with him because you need to get the sleep thing. Her sleep thing has only been like a month. If you were basing your entire life change off of some sleep issue you were having in 1 month, this does not seem like a great idea.
So the next day, she wakes up in the morning in bed with this scruffy bartender.
Yep. They have sex even though he's been hit by a car multiple times in the last 2 weeks. He's totally fine. No problem. No broken ribs, nothing. He's fine.
Is that the first time they have sex?
Yes. They actually don't even kiss in the film.
They don't kiss in the film.
She actually makes out with the fiancé a lot more and has sex with the fiancé, whereas in here they just sleep next to each other all the time. They touch hands accidentally with holding microphones.
Uh-huh.
That's it. Touching back of hands is the most physical contact we get in this.
I guess we need to move into, will they make it?
Will they make it?
Is there any indication that they are compatible apart from the sleep?
No. They're total opposites. He still thinks he has his stuff together, but we never learned better coping skills. We still saw that he's a total disaster if he gets flustered. It's going to go terrible.
Are there other things they like about each other?
They like to criticize each other and put each other down as a joke, which I don't like. They like to flash scare each other, like when they're in the parking lot. They like to go, whoa, in a dark parking lot. I don't like that. Yes, I don't like that.
No, don't do that. That's not cute.
Don't do that. I had a roommate, not you, who decided to scare me outside the house when I was feeling for my keys in the dark. And he jumped and ran at me with a hood on. And I totally freaked out. And then he just thought it was hilarious that he gave me a panic attack. It's not cool.
No.
I wish I had mace. That would have been amazing. If I had mace, I still picture me holding mace, and then he would have just been bleary-eyed, and I'd be like, why would you do that? And I'd be like, why would you do that?
Yeah. It would have served him right.
It would have served him right.
I think the baby will definitely break them up.
The baby is totally going to break them up. It's going to stress their relationship. And when you have a child, I'm sure it really kind of strains the relationship. And if you already don't have very good connecting mechanisms of working together, he's not a good planner and he falls apart easily, this is a recipe for disaster.
I have a friend who said that she basically never gets enough sleep, that if she didn't have to set an alarm, she could sleep indefinitely. That's the way that she's built.
Yeah.
She just wants and needs so much sleep. And she said, I had a kid and I did not get that level of sleep for 12 years. And I love my daughter, but it was an incredible sacrifice that I made.
Yes. Yeah. Your feeling of well-being is really strained. So I don't think they're going to make it because they're going to be sleep deprived again. Yeah, and it's just stressful having a kid. So yeah, she got pregnant probably a month or two in.
It's amazing that she sleeps like a baby after leaving her fiancé at the altar. That
yes.
is something that would cause a normal person to lose a little bit of sleep, I feel like.
Yes, you would think that would stress her.
Think about what her friends will think, what her relatives will think.
What she feels about herself. That in front of everybody, she just left this great guy and was like, I gotta go.
Such is the magic of their connection that she just sleeps like a baby.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna be like, so wait, why would you leave? Even her female friend who's gay is like, dude, your fiancé is amazing. I get why you'd want to tap that. And everyone's gonna be like, so wait, you're going to this guy who owns a bar.
I like the idea that she'll have to deputize her friends to make the explanation to the further out people. Be like, No, you don't understand.
No, it's this guy I've been sleeping with the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And
she needs this. She needs
this.
I don't know how to explain it, but it's a magical connection, and it is very real, and it's non-negotiable. So, yeah, they had to break up.
Yeah. So, in terms of, like, would her and her surgeon fiancé make it before her sleep issues started, which I understand they try to act like her sleep is a symptom of something not right. When they show her well-rested, she is so happy with him. Nothing is wrong with the relationship. Like, if she wants to have him plan a little bit less, then they could do that. It's fine. They get along. They have great sex. He's supportive. Like, they're happy together. There's nothing where she's sitting there and she's just like, oh, except for the sleep. But I mean, it doesn't make sense.
He does track her phone. That's not that cool.
He does that, I think, because he doesn't know where she is and it's the middle of the night. And he's supposed to be working as a surgeon. This is why she can get away with this. He works at night as a surgeon. So he comes home and she's not home, I think. He can track her on the phone. I mean, make sure she's not been kidnapped and dead and see she's at a hotel, a fancy hotel,
all right,
with a guy. You and I have seen many a bad fiancé that is totally, through Hallmark standards, very worth cheating on. They work too much. You
Absolutely.
can cheat on them. They're from the city. You can cheat on them. She's not leaving him for a small town guy, not leaving him for someone who works less. I mean, he does probably work a lot, but he's always there and supporting her. Like, he literally will stay up all night with her to help her in a sleep lap, to, like, watch her sleep. Like, it's just, there's none of that. He likes Christmas. I mean, come on.
Wow. Yeah. That's usually the deal breaker.
So we don't see any of that. All that, like, supports her getting with this guy is that he likes her and they kind of make dumb jokes, I guess, but that's not even that great. Like, it's just, no.
And on paper, like, she and her fiancé are both hard-driven career people.
Yeah, no, they have similar values, and they enjoy planning together. They enjoy their personalities together. They have a good time. They're very giddy about planning things together, and if she wants to plan a little less and be a little more spontaneous, I think he'd be open to that. So it's like, oh, come on, you guys. Okay. So, yeah, no. So none of this makes sense.
Okay, here's my version. She's with the surgeon guy. He's got chiseled abs. He seems amazing. Everything is perfect in their life. Everything needs to be perfect. And then she meets a Slavic guy who's got like he's kind of fat. Like he's a little hairy and fat, but he's relaxed and he's about living life in the moment and so forth. And she realizes that all the stuff with her fiancé wasn't stuff that she really wanted. It was what she thought she was supposed to want. It was status symbol stuff. Like they would look perfect in their wedding photos. And this guy who's a little less
on paper,
conventionally good looking, but is incredibly cuddly, like is an amazing winter cuddle, like a Santa Claus bod. That's who you want to sleep with. Because if you're covered in muscles, you're not cuddly.
She's like, oh, like, maybe we'll show the surgeon guy being super chiseled, really regimented. He's like, okay, we got to get up, and we got to get up in 6 hours, and then I have to eat my egg whites and all this stuff. And then she realizes she feels at home with this other guy. Like, she feels, like, relaxed and at home. But they do a very bad way of showing any of this.
Because the bar guy also has chiseled abs.
Yes, they all have chiseled abs. Yes, they're all chiseled. They're all very, very chiseled.
Yeah. Okay, we have some more segments we could get into. Story of Us. So this is a segment about, regardless of sexuality, what would we get with these two different leads?
Yeah. And the surgeon. I'm throwing the surgeon in there, too.
Throw the surgeon in there. Okay, go for it.
Yeah. So, would we get with these people? All of them are a one-night stand. We got just one-night stand here. One-night stand. And you know what? Billy would be worse, the guy, because he's just kind of a mess. And he would probably, if he's working at a bar, he's probably going to be drinking kind of harder. I don't know, the surgeon might be a little bland, might be a little bit by the book, but like, all these are one-night stands. I mean, the surgeon would have the longest staying power because he would be really nice. What I haven't seen from him is a major sense of humor, but Billy doesn't have the best sense of humor either. They just kind of make dumb criticizing jokes to each other. The surgeon isn't going to last because I don't sense a really big sense of humor, and he's a little bland, like most people in these films. She is a little too... He's probably type A, but she's really type A too, and I'm just like not feeling it. And the guy, yeah, he's a bit of a mess. One night. That's it.
I think I'd be good for her, potentially, as far as sleeping. I do snore pretty loud.
Oh,
but
no.
I go to sleep fairly easily most nights. I'm not that type A. But yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to overplan.
She seems very demanding on the people around her in an unpleasant way.
As we've seen, she's got a lot of privilege running around being like, but I need this right now, and blah,
yeah.
blah. And she's also going to trash people literally she's just met in front of them, and then later apologize, and they're like, it's fine. So yeah, the two leads are not great. They just kind of make everybody take their baggage, and everyone's like, it's fine. So I don't love that about them. So I'm much more willing to go with the surgeon guy for a longer period of time.
Okay.
Even if his muscles might crunch me like a rock. Because the surgeon has the most muscles. Like, just, he's going to hug me and I might break a little, but I'll be like, it's fine.
But it's not cuddly. It's not sleepy, in my opinion.
It's not cuddly. But we could just sleep separate, and then he could just take off his shirt, and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to enjoy this.
Uh-huh. All right, do you want to go to Who Could Do Better?
I forgot about that one. Yeah, you know what? The surgeon could do a hella better than this woman who's going to leave him for somebody for 2 weeks. He is going to find another woman in 5 minutes. So at least I know he will, like, walk out the door and find somebody much better than her. These other two people, Lizzie could do better than this dude who's a total mess. As we saw, she could get with the surgeon. She could do much better.
Could she find a better partner than the bartender who also helps her to sleep?
Yes.
She immediately assumes he's the only one who can help her sleep.
Yes. She hasn't slept around enough to know.
Yeah, why didn't she audition people?
Audition people. Every night a new person in her bed, and then she sees who helps her sleep. She's only tried this one guy, apart from the surgeon guy.
What about a dog? Get a dog.
Oh, that would be more socially acceptable.
Audition
than,
some dogs.
Propositioning a guy to sleep next to you with a business loan. That does seem like a better thing to try. That would be soothing, too.
Right?
Yeah. All right. Well, you've just made the film better.
Shorter movie.
Her life is a lot better, I'll tell you that. She hasn't gotten preggers with a guy she just met. So this is a lot better.
What
timeline.
is so romantic about this? I don't get what's romantic about it.
I don't find it very romantic. I think this is a bad film.
Is it about sleepy business women who just dream about being able to just sleep one good night?
I think the point of this film was for them to make a lot of sleeping jokes where she's like, I'm just sleeping with him. And everyone goes, whoa. Like, I think it was just to make a ton of jokes of, like, faking it, sleeping it, quickies. I think that was this whole thing was based on. What if she has problems sleeping next to him for like a month?
Oh my God.
That just nulls the entire thing. And he's like, oh my God, she's going to leave me. She's going to find some other guy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, she's just a floozy. She'll go with whatever guy will make her fall asleep.
Yeah, she has to just go for the next fix. Maybe she needs a more sleepy guy after that. She needs to up the dosage
all
somehow.
All she wants is a guy who's hot with good sleep. That's all she wants. So that's kind of a fragile base of a relationship.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for the endorphin report. So the premise of this whole show, which we did not discuss at the beginning, is that we're looking for endorphins. Cynthia is on a quest for endorphins, which is, even if the movie's not that great, there's these moments that are endorphin moments where it's like good hormones are released.
Yeah. Happy sprinkles falling down on my brain because nice moments happened.
Okay. Did this movie have endorphins?
I would say the only endorphin was after she hits him with her car. Oh, this is so sad to say this. She hits him with her car, and then when she looks at her and he realizes that she has chosen him, he gets kind of like tears in his eyes, and he's just so happy, and you can just tell like he's just looking at her in disbelief and so happy he got her. That's the only, and that amount of endorphin is like having a cup of hot cocoa and I get one marshmallow off the top, and that's it. That's the level of endorphin. It's just a smidge. The rest of it was like, not really.
I'm just picturing him lying there on the pavement in a crumpled heap, checking his own ribcage for breakage.
Yeah. And then they just look at each other after she's hit him and they laugh. And you're like, oh my God. But then he realizes, he looks at her and she literally like nods her head like, yeah, I'm with you. And then he's like, he just smiles with like tears in his eyes. And that part it got me for the set. But I was so plain drunk. Oh, it's like I'm a come down after the drugs, Daniel. I'm just like, what did I do?
Wow. Yeah. In the cold light of day.
Yeah, I mean, I was just high in the moment, on the plane, at the altitude, my brain buzzing, beer goggles, and now I'm like, oh.
There weren't any other moments, even with the plane high?
No, they sing karaoke a little, and they, like, touch, which could be, like, a one light sprinkle, but, like, she's wearing a bachelorette thing, and it's like, oh, how sleazy is that to, like, sing at your own bachelorette party and be open to flirting with a guy on a stage in front of his friends and your friends? Like, oh.
That's pretty sleazy.
That is some sketchy behavior. Yeah.
I'll bet that karaoke guy sees that every week. But yes, very sleazy. By the way, here's some Loading Ready Run content. My brother immediately texted me back when I texted him about this. No Sleep Till Christmas! Like the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
So my brother knows a Beastie Boys song. There's
Oh, I didn't even... Wait, that's a Beastie Boys song? I didn't even connect. Yeah. Oh, gosh.
I'm sure they didn't play it in the movie because it would be too expensive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But No Sleep Till Brooklyn, which is a great song.
Yeah, got it. So it's No Sleep Till Brooklyn, but this is No Sleep Till Christmas.
Yeah.
And that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
Got it.
Also, she sleeps before and after Christmas.
She does.
Not even on Christmas,
She does.
I think. Okay, so you have a new rating system, which is number of, mini marshmallows?
No, well, I often just have a metaphor for, like, the coziness and the marshmallow thing, or just in general, like, the amount, and I often have a metaphor of how much it gave me, where, like, oftentimes these movies are like, they're so, like, they're really crappy, like, Christmas films, it's just like, having a cup of hot cocoa, and you're like, ooh, it's just cozy happiness. This was, like, the top of the marshmallow off the hot cocoa.
Gotcha.
That's it. I don't get their hot cocoa. I just look at it from afar and been like, well, that would have been nice, but I didn't get it. And then that's it.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, folks, and hope you have a really great holiday. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
Then tune on in for the Endorphin Report. The Endorphin Report.